The man had just been reborn, only to find himself sitting in a wheelchair. He deliberately pretended to be disabled, hoping his biological parents would dislike him. That way, they wouldn't take him home. In his past life, he wandered for 18 years, finally reunited with his biological parents, only to be secretly framed by their adopted son out of jealousy. Not only were his legs crippled, but his parents and 3 sisters also mistook him for faking his misery. No matter how he explained, all he received was coldness and disgust. In the end, he died in despair and resentment. But in this life, he had returned to the very day he was first brought home. To avoid repeating the same tragedy, he decided to fake his disability, hoping his biological parents would give up on him. Yet he never expected that in this life, he would awaken a special ability. His inner thoughts could be heard by his family. At first, his mother thought she was hallucinating. After all, their adopted son had never met him. How could he possibly have framed him? But then, the man's thoughts left her utterly shocked. In his mind, he was muttering about how the adopted son was about to send a pregnant woman over, claiming that the baby in her womb was his. His mother instantly frowned. Was her son suffering from delusions? But the next second, a furious shout suddenly came from outside. Moments later, a pregnant woman barged in, clung to the assistant's leg, and tearfully claimed she was carrying his child. Just as she was getting into character, the man spoke up. He smiled and reminded her that she had found the wrong person. Then he emphasized that he was penniless and crippled. If she didn't mind that, she was welcome to stay and build a life with him. The woman's face instantly changed. She cursed under her breath and stormed out. Right then, the man's father arrived after hearing the commotion. The moment he saw his son, he pulled him into a tight hug. But in the next second, the man's deep-seated resentment echoed clearly in his father's ears. His father's face darkened, and he raised his hand to strike him. His mother quickly stepped in, forcing an awkward smile to ease the tension. Just as they reached the doorstep, his third sister came rushing out in a panic, shouting that their adopted brother was throwing a tantrum, threatening to leave home. Everyone hurried inside, and sure enough, the adopted son was in his room, holding an empty suitcase, wailing about how he had lost his place in the family. Now that the real son had returned, it was time for him to leave. The man watched his pathetic act with cold eyes, then casually exposed him. That suitcase was completely empty. He was just putting on a show, trying to make their parents feel guilty for him.